Hey everybody, welcome to YouTube. I'm Elijah. If you have never been to my channel before, this is my vlogging channel where I show just whatever's going on in my life that particular week, with kind of a highlight on my weight loss and the work that I do out in the community are kind of the two things I talk about quite a bit. But in this week's video, I talk about my ex recently moving out. I show some clips of Camden and his enjoying the new space, and of course I do my weight loss updates. So if this is a video that you end up liking, please feel free to engage with it however you would like to, whether that's giving it a like, commenting, or subscribing, or sharing it with folks that you know. um, but yeah, I hope you enjoy the clips in this week's video, and I will catch up with you at the end to wrap it up.
Hey everybody, it is Monday evening, which means that I did outreach earlier today. And when I get done with outreach, I like to come home and just kind of be able to kick back and relax, do a little bit of self care. My outreach can be a little, again, emotionally daunting at times since I'm out with folks who don't have enough to eat, don't have good shelter, access to showers, bathrooms, stuff like that. So coming home, I do take a moment to be thankful for the things that I have, as well as take some moments to just, you know, decompress and de stress. And what I like to do sometimes is make lists. And I actually had a book that I forgot that I had, which is called Listography. And it is Your Life in Lists. So in the book, it is kind of I'll read the little thing on the inside. It talks about it. So yeah, let me do that first. First thing, I love the illustrations in this book, but the inside cover and first page are these like cats. I'm not sure if you can see them, but yeah, they're adorable. Um, then we have, okay, so listography. The book is designed to help you create your autobiography through list making. I created listography because I am nostalgic. I love the little details of life, from experiences to favorites, and I wanted to create two nice places to capture and share those details. Listography the book and listography.com, which I'll put right here. I believe everyone should have an autobiography, if only for their loved ones to read, and even in the simplest form, a list. Lisa Nola, and then the website is www.listography.com. So created by Lisa Nola and illustrated by Nathaniel Russell. So wonderful. And then the next few pages are all the different lists that are in this. So quite a few. So I figured with these lists, this might be a cool segment to have in my videos. Do one of these maybe every week or every so often. I don't know yet. Maybe every week if I like it. So, all right. So I, on this one, went ahead and filled it out because I thought maybe that would be easier. But now that I think about it, I think it'd actually be more fun to do it while on camera. So I think I'll do that in the next few ones. But this particular one, I'll just go off of what I've already written down. But I did want to show the illustration, which I thought was really funny. It's a little earthworm, and it says R.I.P. Frankie, 1982 to 1982. I just thought that was adorable. I never had a pet earthworm, but I did like catching crickets and fireflies when I was a kid, so it could have very easily been a worm. All right, let's see what I got here. So this is going to be broken up into a few little, like, time segments. Pretty much like my early life, so like, let's say elementary school to birth. And then kind of the middle section of my life, middle school, high school, and then more into like adulthood. So I'll kind of have them separated out. But the first pet that I can remember anybody ever talking about with me, that was ours, was a dog named Sam. And unfortunately, while we were not home at one point, he got a little bit too excited and somehow jumped over a very tall fence, and took off. And we're pretty sure somebody probably picked him up because he was a very beautiful dog. And unfortunately, we didn't get any leads about where he was, and we never saw him again. We did have two cats, one named Mittens and one named Tigger. Both of them were had their own personalities, and I remember Mittens was definitely a little bit more salty, and Tigger was a little bit more lovey. And unfortunately, Tigger passed away after consuming what we believe was antifreeze. He came home one evening, was acting normal, and then started just going downhill. He was lethargic, unable to stand up, just stumbling, So my parents knew that it was some kind of poisoning, and then come to find out, our neighbor had left a tray of it out while working on their vehicle. So he got into it, and it unfortunately took his life. But we loved him immensely, and we made him a little cross for the backyard. And, yeah, he was a really good cat, and as you can tell, he was striped, and we were Winnie the Pooh fans. So that was also part of what came into his name. And then there was, so there's Prissy and Milo, which weren't our dogs, but I was around them when I was a kid, and then my dad talked about them. So Prissy was my grandmother's, so his mom's dog, and she was, I believe, a poodle. And then there was Milo, who was a Chihuahua, and he belonged to my aunt, who was my dad's sister. So I was around them. I had a box turtle and a hermit crab. So the box turtle, I do not remember its name, but I had a hermit crab, and I was very not original, and I named him Hermie. And I had a little book on how to take care of them, and I thought I put out the right size shell. I put out a few because it told me to have a few different ones, and so I did what the little book told me, and apparently the ones I picked weren't right, or he didn't like them, and he unfortunately passed away. So rest in peace, Hermie. And then, so that's kind of the beginning part of my life. And then, so through the middle part of my life, so because of where we lived, we were off of a main road. We were kind of tucked back. We had a yard. We had fenced-in space, covered areas, woodsy areas, just kind of this whole little area. It was really good for when people had stray cats that were in their neighborhood. They knew that if they were picked up and taken to the shelters in our area, that they would be killed. And what we did was we helped either foster or just took in strays until it was their time to naturally pass away. And, we had people who would come visit and be like, oh my God, I love this cat. So cute. And we'd be like, oh, we're actually fostering. Are you happy to take it? Because if you like them, and they would go to wonderful homes. And so we did that quite a bit, but I only remember a few of their names, so I will list them here, and if there was anything really cute about them. And I'll also put up some pictures if I happen to have any. So there was Fat Boy, Buku, Sasha, Winston, and Churchill. So I believe it was Churchill. Both of these cats were big, fluffy orange cats, and that's why we two-part named them. But I believe it was Churchill got in the house across the street that the people moved out in the middle of the night. It was very weird, and it got just shut up and boarded up, and he was in there, and somehow he got out, and he just showed up one day after we thought he was long gone because it had been a while. He was really skinny, but we got him plumped right back up. There was Boris. So Boris was the definition of a lap cat. He had some emotional, developmental kind of things, and so, but if you sat down, he would be in your lap in a second. There was Inspector, who was what would be, I think, considered legally blind in human terms. And because of that, he would get really close to stuff if he wanted to like see what you were doing. And because of that, it always looked like he was like inspecting. There was Baby Girl, and then literally we had a cat that looked just like her, but just a little smaller. And so we called her Baby Girl. And then there was Ziggy and Hugo. So Hugo was he was the cat of a really good friend of mine whose parent was kind of escaping a DV situation, and she was like, "I want this cat to go to a good home. I know that you guys do this. Can you please take him?" And I was like, "Sure." And so we took him, and he was with us for quite a while. And he came home one day, and he was limping really bad, and he was walking on like the top part of his arm. And so we took him to the vet. Like next day, they did X-rays, all that kind of stuff, and apparently somebody had shot him with a BB. And because of that, they believed it had paralyzed his arm. But he said because he hasn't been gnawing at it or doing anything like that, he's didn't want to amputate at that moment, so he didn't. And so we would like wrap it and watch it and make sure that it was good. And it was probably a month later, and he was laying on the table, and he would make biscuits with the one hand, and the other one would just lay there. And we started noticing the little bit of movement, and over the next few weeks, he got all the movement back, and it was really awesome to see. And then the last one was Princess PETA. So PETA stands for pain in the ass, because that's exactly what she was. She came to us during a downpour. We heard something meowing. We went outside. We saw this white cat, not long hair, but pretty short hair, just came down this hill crying, walked along the chain fence all the way across like this, because we were flush up against like a really big hill. She just walked along it all the way to the end, crying the whole time, went right around the corner, walked right into our house, and then just stayed with us. And yeah, she, at a point, and I am not shitting you, would not drink water unless it was filtered, cold, and put in a goblet. It was a glass goblet that she had. And she would run outside to use the bathroom in what we called the pee-pee pipe, which was just a pipe that she would go into, squat down, use the bathroom real quick, and run back inside. And she hated every other cat. So she really was a pain in the ass, but we loved her. Then my brother had two rats. He had Frankie, named after Frankenstein, and Bella, named after Bella Lugosi. I had two ferrets. Caesar was my first one. He was the best ferret I think I could have ever asked for. I had friends who had him before. I had watched videos. I'd wanted one for a very long time. And I got him, and he was literally just like a cat. I didn't have to keep him in a cage. He didn't chew on anything. He had his toys. He knew where he used the bathroom. He knew where his food was. The cats were fine with him. Yeah, it was a dream. And then I got Mussolini, who was very much the same. He took out just after Caesar, except he was huge. I knew when I got him that he was already the size that Caesar was at a year, and was a pretty young one at that point. So I knew he was going to be really big, and he was. And then we had a dog that was actually a friend of my brother's dog. She couldn't keep it, couldn't keep it at that time, and asked us just to keep it for a little bit, and she'd pay us for like things. And then when she stopped, we just kept him, and my mom and him created this adorable bond, and yeah, it was really awesome. Especially my mom's an animal person. She loves animals, but people always associate her with cats, and so Lars was just proof that dogs are attached to her as well. I had a couple of beta fish, Warren Beta and Beta Midler. Nothing really fancy about them except for the fact that Warren Beta was a fish that I got from Walmart when I was working there. Somebody had put him in the claims bin like 2 months before that and just left him in there, and nobody had done any pets claims, and yeah, he was still alive, so I bought him and took him home. Laverne and Shirley were my two mice. One was blonde and one was brunette, so that was the joke. Autumn was my hamster, who was a terror, bit me all the time. She unfortunately got sick, and when I had taken her to the vet, when they were doing the examination, she bit the shit out of the vet, and like made like, I don't know if they were hisses, I don't know what they were, but it was like she was possessed. But yeah, unfortunately she got sick and passed. And then after I moved out to the Pacific Northwest, and my mom had moved out, there was a stray cat in our neighborhood, and my mom worked with him. He literally, if you looked at him for more than like 2 seconds, he'd run away. She got him from that to coming up and letting him feed her. Or sorry, letting her feed him. Then it went to letting her just barely touch him. And then it was petting. And it was laying beside her forever, just letting her pet him. And then he slowly came inside, and then he'd run back out. And then he slowly came in and would sit by the chair, and then he got in the chair and then slept in the chair. And then eventually he'd literally go back and lay in bed with her. But at the same time, almost every morning, he'd get up and want to be let out. So she'd get up and she'd let him out for the day. But he, being a stray cat, and for feral for as long as he was, he unfortunately had FIV, and because he wasn't really a pet that we could take to the vet very often, we unfortunately were not able to take him until the very end when he got very sick, and putting him down was our most humane option to not have him be in pain. So we had to make that choice, and we did. But right around that time, it was also my mom's birthday, and I saw an ad for somebody selling a kitten, and that is where we got Camden, and that is our pets now. So, yeah, that's kind of all of them. Oh, sorry, there was a Caesar before Caesar, my ferret, and that was actually, so the neighbors that were like 2 houses down from me, the guy had like 50 fighting roosters, and he'd always say that they weren't fighting roosters, that they were rescues. But these fucking things, they were vicious. Like, we'd walk to the bus and they would like try to attack us. But when animal control finally was able to do something about it, they came out. But a couple of the roosters, while they were trying to unhook them, because they were all attached to like these barrels by their ankles with these wires, a couple of them like bit them really bad and like ran off. And so my friend who lived behind that house, her and her siblings caught them and kept them as pets. And so they gave one to me, and we named it Caesar. But yeah, that was definitely not a pet, I would say. But definitely a unique moment in my life, though. Yeah, those are my pets. What kind of pets did you have? And what were their names? And I would love to know where you got the name from. So leave that in the comments. And thank you for hanging with me for this list. This was fun. I do think I will do this in my upcoming videos. And we'll see what the next list is going to be. But I'll see you in the next clip. And thanks again for watching. Bye. So since moving day is coming up from my ex, the table is gone. But I still have a little visitor come out. I wanted to show all of you. He likes to stretch out and show everybody how long he can make himself. So right now he is just enjoying the sun. Isn't that right, Camden? Say hello. Oh, he's such a pretty boy. Hey everybody, so I'm down in the exchange today, and I have my snack with me. So I've already had a few of these, but these are the granola bite minis. They're kind of granola bars, just in a ball. Very easy to chew, but pretty hearty. They have blueberry, cranberry, and another type of berry. Really been enjoying those. Again, I've had 2 of those, and that's a serving. And then these are my white cheddar Cheez-Its. I absolutely love white cheddar Cheez-Its. I prefer them well over the originals, and if I have to choose and the originals are there, I will not eat them, but if they are white cheddar, I will definitely eat them. So I got a serving of those. Well, actually less than a serving. I think serving is like 26 crackers, maybe, I think. I don't know. I looked at the back, but I forgot. But this is my snack. I'm going to go enjoy it, put something on the phone to watch until clients come in. I'm kind of just hanging out. So I'm going to go do that, and I'll see you in the next clip. All right, so I am walking home from work, and I stopped in at some of the, there's like 3 record shops on my way home, just like right next to each other. So I stopped into all of them, and I only found one that I was willing to pay the price for, and that was James Taylor, and this was the greatest hits. On this particular album, my particular favorites are Carolina in My Mind, Fire and Rain, Sweet Baby James, and then Mexico. Those are my top songs off of this one. But, ooh, bug. Stop. Leave me alone. Okay. I think it left me alone now. Anyway. Okay. Bye. So I'm walking through a section as I'm heading home. And I absolutely love this architecture. So this particular building, it looks like it was built in 1867. And then I love that one down there. Obviously, with this being northern New England, it has a lot of, English feel to it. So having been lucky enough to go to London, I just love these buildings. It just reminds me of it. So if you ever get the chance to visit here, I would definitely say check out Old Port in the area that I'm in. Alright everybody, so he is officially moved out, though Friday is really technically at 10 a.m. the last time that he can come into the apartment. But I thought I'd do one last walkthrough of what it looks like right now, and yeah, I'll just show what little is left. Alright, so, my ex has come and gone. His major stuff is now all out. As far as I'm concerned, he is 100% moved out, but technically he can still enter the apartment all the way until Friday at 10 a.m. So let's hope he doesn't, but knowing him, he might just to mess with me. But I did want to show. So we now have all this open space over here. So no more couch. Definitely a lot more echo in here as well. And then we go into the bedroom area. And let me turn the camera around. Alright, so here's my TV that y'all had seen out there. My mattress. Let's see if I can change this here. There we go. So, mattress, my TV. As you can see, of course, that dresser's gone. That's gone. That's my PlayStation and my little monitor. That closet now is just my clothes. Let me see if I can actually open that up there. So now it is just mine. So my clothes and my pants. But you saw the bed frame was gone, so the mattress is just down on the ground. And there's my frog. I don't know if he's a frog or a lizard. I don't care. I love him either way. But yeah, so he is now officially out. And we have Camden. Hello, Camden. Hello. Oh, yeah. He loves to show off. Look at that little foot. Yeah. So he is enjoying all of this though, being able to kind of stretch out, and he's been running. He'll run from the kitchen all the way through, and then jump onto my mattress, and then run all the way back, and then yeah, he's having a lot of fun. I might show that. I think I actually took a clip earlier. I might pop that in there, but luckily my mom has been looking out for me, and she bought me this desk. It just needs to be put together, so I might have a space to be able to start gaming again. But it was funny because my mom was like, oh, I feel bad, because she's like, I come into my room and it's like an oasis, because like this has the room, it's painted. Let's see if I can turn it on here. So it's painted and like everything matches, and she has like paintings up and rugs and a nice little entertainment center thing set up, and she was like, oh, I feel bad. And I was like, oh, don't worry about it. I will. Oh, there it goes. Whoa. I told her I'll eventually decorate in here. But yeah, I'll actually probably do a, that would actually be a cool thing for this video. I think I'm going to sit down sometime this week and do a little, if I had money, what would I buy for my space? And you can let me know if you would buy those things too, or give me suggestions of what you would do with the space. But yeah, Camden and I are gonna go sort through some more of my stuff and try to figure out what I want to just pack away until we eventually fully move, or what I need out in the meantime. So we will check in with you later, and thanks for watching the clip. Bye. Alright, so it's Thursday, and I'm on my way into work. Unfortunately, the shitty place that I live decided that today, which is International Overdose Awareness Day, that this would be a wonderful day to go clear an extremely large encampment. So by doing that, has now stressed out a lot of folks, including folks who utilize substances to cope with stress. So, in a time when we're already heightened with overdoses, the city and state are now doing something that will directly affect and harm folks who utilize substances. So, next time you want to bitch and complain because you're like, oh my god, my tax dollars, they're not going towards good things. No, they are going towards good things. And then the city and the state are going back with everything that we just did, everything that we built, all the trust that we just developed with folks, and just fucked all of it over. So just some tips about donating. I'm going to try to be as nice as possible about this, but this really bothers me. If you're donating books and they are mildewed, don't donate them. Pay for them to get thrown away. Places that take donations are not there as dumpsters for what you don't want. So if stuff is mildewed, do not donate it to any secondhand place. If you donate notebooks and you have written in them, they're worthless. Okay? You've literally written through all of it and you've ripped pages out. It's worthless. Do not donate it. If a book you have made for your child specifically that literally has their name in it, don't donate it. Nobody's going to want to buy a book dedicated to your child. All right, everybody, it is August 31st, which means that it is the last day that my ex can legally come into this apartment after 11:59 p.m. Tonight. He is no longer a resident of this address, and I'm not going to say that there's a part of me that's like sad about him being gone, because really seeing and just feeling everything again, that every time I think about things and just the pain and the hurt and the confusion and just not knowing why he said and did things that he decided to say and do, but it just makes me realize that even though this is scary and I was extremely anxious and panicked, with the support of especially my mom, but also my close friends and family and coworkers especially as well. I feel really good about finally being able to say I'm done with this. I'm done with him. I'm no longer linked to him in this way. And I'm free in a way. That being said, there's a part of me that is still really afraid that he is going to not like not having control over somebody, and I don't know if he's going to find somebody quick enough for me to feel comfortable with me not being the person that he just toys with, just to toy with. I kind of jokingly compare it to like when a cat like kills something and then like bats it around a little bit and then is like, okay, I'm done with this, and then walks away. The issue is that I'm literally at this point, like, I'm not dead, but I'm laying here like trying to act like I am so that he will just leave me alone. And I'm just afraid he's gonna drag me to court for something, just because he knows it'll stress me. But we'll cross that bridge if we get there, and we'll see what happens. But that being said, I've been able to kind of enjoy, of course, the apartment's been without him for a while now, but I've been afraid of him just showing up. I've been afraid of him coming over without giving me the notice that I asked him to, so that I could leave, because of all that kind of fear and worry and uncertainty. I never really felt like relaxed, and the last few nights I've started to feel that way, and tonight especially, I'm feeling more comfortable. So that being said, right now I have a new little setup, and by little setup, it's my TV, the one that I was talking about that I had out here in the living room, that I couldn't really play on because of the fact that with the couch being back there, anytime I would want to sit there and play, he almost made it a point to always be crossing between. And because of that, and then to be out here cooking and stuff, and it was too much. So then if I switched to the bedroom, then he would decide that's where he wanted to be. So it just like I never felt like I was able to like go anywhere. But now, because there's no couch and my mom doesn't care, she'll walk behind me. I'm sitting pretty close, but I have a new little setup right now. We have some camping and lawn chairs that we're using, but they work for now. So, but that being said, I'm going to end this clip, go play some video games for a little bit, and then I might jump on a little bit later to talk about today, kind of what August 31st also means, and just I don't know, maybe end the night with some, maybe a learning moment or two. But I'll see you in the next clip. Bye. Everyone, it is Sunday, which means it is time for a weigh-in. It is Labor Day weekend, which means that I'm off on Monday. So, yeah, I'll have a little bit of an extended weekend. You can hear the baby, of course. He is crying because he loves attention and knows that I'm filming and that I'm not paying attention to him. You are fine. You are okay. Okay, so time for my weigh-up. So I don't remember what last week's was, but I will put that on the screen now. So here we go. Oh yeah, forgot to turn the damn thing on. It's one of those kind. Okay. All right. 301.6. So I am very happy with that. I know that is lower than what it was last week, so I'm very happy with that. So I'll put the total amount lost here on the screen. But I'll go over that once I figure out all that math, and we'll talk about kind of what's going to go on for next week.
Alright everyone, so we have come to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and thank you as always for watching all the way to the end. If you liked it, again, a reminder, go ahead and feel free to engage with this video however you would like, whether that is like, comment, subscribe, or share, or check out my site. Again, no pressure to buy, but as always, there are some designs on there, and the holidays are coming up, so there might be some good gift options. But other than that, I will see you in my next video, and stay safe out there, everybody.